Post, colors. Present. Up. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Order. Up.
Pathfinder pledge. By the grace of God, I will be pure and kind and true. I will keep the Pathfinder law. I will be a servant of God and a friend to man.
Pathfinder law. Keep the morning watch, do my honest part, care for my body, keep a level eye, be courteous and obedient, walk softly in the sanctuary, keep a song in my heart, and go on God's errands.
Okay, adventurers, we're going to do our pledge and law. Can you see your pledge and law over there? We'll turn them a little bit so you can see. Okay, we'll start with the pledge. Because Jesus loves me, I will always do my best. And the law. Jesus can help me to be obedient, be pure, be true, be kind, be respectful, be attentive, be helpful, be cheerful, be thoughtful, be reverent.
If you will bow your heads with me for a prayer. God, thank you for letting us be here today with Pathfinders and with adventurers, with an organization that its main goal is to honor you. Please help us do all these things that it says in our pledges, being faithful, being kind, being obedient. And thank you, God, for the chance to live today. Amen.
You may be seated.
Okay, it's time for us to do our adventurer song. So adventurers, you want to come and stand up here on the steps, and we're going to sing our Adventurer Club song. And we're going to sing it 2 times, guys. Okay, thank you, kids. You can sit back down in your seats. We want to welcome you for coming out for our joint adventure and Pathfinder Investiture.
I think this is the first time we've ever done it joint that I can remember in 25 years.
But it's a nice turnout to have everybody here together and to see how these clubs really help each other and complement each other. For anyone that doesn't know, the Adventurer Club starts with preschool-age kids, sometimes as young as 3, going all the way up through the 4th grade. And when they finish 4th grade, they get to graduate to Pathfinders.
Pathfinders has typically gone from 5th grade to 10th grade, and then 11th and 12th as TLTs. But now they're developing a program where Pathfinders is going to go all the way 5 through 12, and they will still be TLTs, but it'll be in conjunction with everything else. They've changed it, and so they've got Pioneer and Navigator stuck in there in the middle between the Voyager and the Guide. So anyway, we're glad that everybody came out. We are very proud of our Pathfinders and very proud of our adventures. And adventures, I want to tell you something. When Miss Marta and I were doing the program over the phone the other night, because I'm now quite a long ways away, I was surprised we have more adventures than we do Pathfinders. And I too think that this is probably, if not the first, close to the first time since I've been in this church in 25 years that we've had that. So good for you. Okay, so now we're going to do, the Pathfinders are going to sing their song, and then we will just go with our program with presenting the honors and the patches.
Okay. Yeah. So this year for Adventurers, we had a theme, and our theme was Heaven Bound. And so we picked a song about heaven that we're going to sing for you today. So come on up and step up on the steps again, guys, except for the 2 I asked to hold the words. Okay, well, it's now time for the most exciting part where we get to hand out all of the awards and pins that our adventurers have earned this year. We've been so busy. If I read you every single award for every single kid, it would take an hour. So what I'm going to do, we're going to do it by class, and I'll read you a list of what everybody got, and then you're going to see, because we're going to pin it on them, all of their badges that the kids wore. So I would like to invite all of my staff that led out in classes to come on up, and I will get the awards and we'll start going through. We're going to start with little lambs. So all of my little lambs, go ahead and come up here and line up. Miss Shoemaker led out in our little lambs. They should be in alphabetical order. Okay, so to earn your Little Lamb award, you have some puzzle patches that go over my God, myself, my family, and my world. And then you have some awards, they're called stars, that go along with that. There's the Woolly Lamb Star, Little Boy Jesus Star, Sharing Star, Healthy Food Star, Special Helper Star, Healthy Me Star, My Friend Jesus Star, and Community Helper Star. And then they had time and they did some extra ones. They did the ABCs and they did the colors. So the kids that are getting awards tonight for Little Lambs are Addison Culler, Ella Garcia, Emily Munoz, and Jasper I'm sorry, I forgot to write his last name. Is it Campbell? Okay, I knew it started with the C. All righty. Little Lambs is our pre-K group. And next we're going to have Eager Beavers. Eager Beavers, if you want, you can line up right here. That way you're not in the way of the other ones. Or maybe, actually, never mind. They got out of the way, so why don't you line up right there. Okay, the Eager Beavers, their awards are called chips. And Eager Beavers are the kindergarten age kids. They earned the Beavers chip, Bible Friend chip, God's World chip, Alphabet Fun, Manners Fun, Know Your Body chip, Fire Safety, Helping at Home, Pets or Toys, My Community Friends, Playing with Friends, Scavenger Hunt, and then they did some extra ones, which were the Stamping Fun. So they're always busy, and it's neat because a lot of the Eager Beaver chips are similar to the Little Lamb stars, so a lot of times they can do some things together, so that can make it really fun. The kids that earned for Eager Beavers are Benjamin Hawkins, A.J. Robinson, Miles Ruffner, Eli Wenzel, Kara Wilson, and Abby Carroll. Our next group is Busy Bee, and that one was led out by Kristen Garcia. So Busy Bees, if you want to come line up here. Busy Bees is first grade. And for their pin, they had several awards they had to earn, and that was the Reading 1 Award, the Bible 1 Award, Health Specialist Award, Safety Specialist Award, and Friend of Animals. And we got all of our awards for our pin done during the first semester, so second semester, 1st through 4th grade, got to do a bunch of them together, which was really fun. And during that time, we did Bible Storytelling, the Postcard Award, the Tabernacle Award, Picture Book Award, the Whale Award, Cyclists, Disciples, and Baking. The kids that are receiving awards for Busy Bee are Megan Garcia, Oliver Shoemaker, and Elena Wilson. How about Sunbeam? Why don't you gather right here, and when they're done, then you can move right over to where they're standing. Sabrina Kennedy led out in the Sunbeam, which is our 2nd grade kids. You can go ahead and stand there when they're done, then we'll scoot over. Sabrina had a big group this year. She had our largest group. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So lots of 2nd graders. Mr. Mitchell, next year, you're getting a big group. Okay, Busy Bee, if you want to go ahead and sit down, and Sunbeam, why don't you move over here so your teacher can put your awards on you. Okay, so for the Sunbeam Award, for the Sunbeam pin, There are 5 awards they had to earn: Reading 2, Fitness Fun, Road Safety, Courtesy, and Friend of Nature. And then they got to do all those same ones that the rest of us did, which were Bible storytelling, postcards, tabernacle, picture book, whale, cyclist, disciples, and baking. So we had a full year. Do you need any help? Okay, you guys can go sit down now. All right, my builders, you want to come up? Sure. I don't have as many kids, though.
All right, this year, builders had some ones they had to earn specifically for their award. They had to earn Reading 3, the Prayer Adventurer Award, Media Critic, Temperance Adventurer, Wise Steward Adventurer, and Magnet Fun, in addition to earning the ones that the others did: postcards, tabernacle, picture book, whales, cyclist, disciple, baking, and Bible storytelling. Our adventures this year earning the Builder Award are Noah Culler, Ryan Garcia, Isaac Meyer, Emma Miller, and Abigail Wetmore.
Okay, and that's our 3rd grade group. Now we have our 4th grade group, the Helping Hands. If you girls want to come up. We're so sad. They're moving on to Pathfinders. Okay, here we go. Whoops. Don Meyer led out in Helping Hands this year. And they earned, for their pin, they earned the Reading 4 Award, Bible 2 Award, Hygiene Award, Caring Friend Award, Country Fun Award, Environmentalist. And then, of course, they did the other ones, the Bible Storytelling, Postcards, Tabernacle, Picture Book, Whale, Cyclist, Disciples, and Baking. And it's Kayla Finley and Kaylani Meyer are our 2 Helping Hands this year. All right, thank you, everyone.
Okay, we have a tradition that we started a few years ago, and that is the Pathfinders give a scarf to the adventurers that will be graduating out of adventures and coming into Pathfinders. And so I think we have 2 young ladies, Kayla and Kaylani. So if Kayla and Kaylani will come up, and we have Lauren and Kieran, and they're going to give them a Pathfinder scarf. Kevin, come over here. You get it perfect. Okay, slow down, Kieran, so Kevin can get it. So your dad can get it. Even though I won't be here next year, I welcome you girls to Pathfinders. Okay, it's time for the Pathfinders to get their honors now. And you will notice that some of the Pathfinders have a red ribbon that their honors are on, and some of them they have a black ribbon that their honors are on. You know, Pathfinders do outstanding things. All of our Pathfinders are outstanding, but sometimes every now and then some of them will go above and beyond and run like a 5K or do a triathlon, something like this. And I would like to say tonight that the red ribbons is something like that, but honestly it isn't. The red ribbons is lack of planning on my part. I had a bag that had 4 rolls of ribbon, 2 red and 2 black. I looked in it, I saw, yep, I've got them. When I sat down and started stapling them on, I had about that much on one red and about that much on the other. So most of them are on black, but there are a few that's on red. And I am sorry, but it was just lack of planning on my part. So if we can have the counselors come up and present their honors.
All right, this year, Lee and I and Don Meyer did Friends and Companions. Those are the 5th and the 6th graders. We had an enjoyable year. We did honors as diverse as hot air balloons and cross-stitch. So the kids worked really hard. You know what? Who finished their cross-stitches? Raise your hands. They did, even the guys did a great job on the cross-stitch. We're very proud of them. They did a good job. But we had a fun year, and so we want to bring up our 5th graders first. So if we could have the 5th graders come on up. Oh, and I need the... one of the other things that we did with, starting with 5th grade, is we had Bible Bowl at the beginning of the year, and Emily Wetmore participated in Bible Bowl, so she will also be getting some Bible Bowl pins and a marker for the Bible Bowl competition that she was part of this year. So we have Caleb Santos. Oh, all right. I have too many things in my hand.
We'll get it together here.
You'll notice that Caleb has a bib. This is from the triathlon at Camporee. One of the fun things that we do at Camporee is one of the clubs actually sponsors a triathlon. So that's canoeing and running and biking. And he did all of that last weekend at Camporee, so he gets an additional bib for that. And hand that to him. All right, so Emily, I'm going to put your stuff here in the bag and let me pin that on, and Natalie, I will pin yours on you. Let's see, where is, here, come over here, Natalie, so that your mom can get some pictures. I see parents with cameras now. Kevin, you started something. That was hilarious.
Oh, no. Hey, come here. Right? Who else is, where are we putting these? On their sash. Oh, there's scarf. Who else gets these?
Did she already got it? Natalie got hers.
Huh? I don't know.
Here, Emily, come back up, sweetie. All right, and now we will have our sixth graders come up. That's for anyone who is in Bible Bowl. All right. For sixth graders, we have Elijah Small, Kaylee Elliott, and Marcus Mitchell, who are all being invested as companions. For the fifth graders, we had Caleb Santos, Natalie Meyer, and Emily Wetmore, who were invested as friends.
So what pen do I give them?
I'll do the pins. You do that. There's too many pins. Okay, so then our next group is 6th and 7th graders, right? 7th and 8th. 7th and 8th graders.
Okay, so our seventh graders this year, we have Riley Tomlinson, Kaylee Cushing, Judah Hicks, JC Buno, and Lydia Lynch.
And this year we had a very busy year in Rangers and Explorers, and we did, well, I'm not sure if this is everything. I think it is, pretty sure. Flowers, first aid, duct tape, which I'll tell you is very fun. I've actually done that on her twice now, once at junior weekend and once here, so it is very fun. It's more involved than you might think. Shells, glass painting, antelope, camp skills, marsupials, which was interesting. Hot air, I don't have that one yet, so hot air balloons and baking. And I had the honor of being involved with Pathfinders again this year. Since we'd moved to Michigan, it's been a long time, and I worked with Jennifer Cushing, and moved up with my daughter Emily. So we had a fun year in Rangers and Explorers, and did a lot of things. I need to help Penny.
All right, if my eighth graders want to come up, I had Morgan, Elias, and Lauren this year. This is my third year teaching these kids, so it's been fun.
A number of years ago, I had Morgan's sister, Samantha, in Pathfinders, and I have called Morgan Samantha most of her Pathfinder life, and she does not like it. I'm not sure why she does that, because I've also spent Kaylee Cushing's entire Pathfinder career calling her Lauren for some reason. She's been very forgiving. So I don't know. Next is
Ninth grade.
ninth grade. Okay, is this them? Daniel. Go ahead.
Okay, so Jonathan and I actually tag teamed with the 9th and 10th graders for quite a few things because they had a lot of honors they could do together. We did the digital photography honor, we did environmental conservation, we did, what? Oh, ecology, we did. I'm glad Jonathan remembers all the honors we did because I was trying to think of them and I don't know. They did lots and lots of honors and butterflies and moths, and we just did lots and lots of honors, and some of the kids in both grades actually earned their advanced as well, so we're going to go ahead and pin their stuff on them.
A lot of these kids went on the mission trip with the GAA, and so we actually did a couple honors off of that too. Well, there's a foreign missions trip honor, so they all each, whoever went on the mission trip earned that. And a couple others with the like rural development and different items like that for out of other countries. So.
Okay, the 10th graders. There's a bunch of them. Well, it's kind of 10th and 11th combined. Natives are getting restless over here.
And like Stacy said, she helped me with a lot of these. Some days I was gone, and I had the worksheets and stuff for her to do, but and then vice versa. Some days she wasn't there, and so we kind of joined up together on that. But I just want to say that these ninth and 10th graders are very chattery a lot of times. So the subjects were hard to stay on focus, but most of the time we got them back to focus and got back on task to learning stuff about the honors.
Okay. We did some community service, and I'm going to let Jonathan talk about that because Jonathan, the rest of us kind of helped, but Jonathan was pretty instrumental in putting it all together. Tom has worked really hard at it as well, and everybody's worked hard at it, but Jonathan really has been instrumental in getting it together for us. So I'm going to let him talk just a little bit about our community service.
Well, the idea came from us actually going to another church in North Carolina. We went to a memorial service for my grandmother, or great aunt, not grandmother, great aunt. And in their bulletin, they had a little insert saying, if you needed help with anything, give us a call. The Pathfinders will come help. So I brought it back and mentioned it to Dawn. She goes, that's a great idea. So we did that, and I was swamped with a lot of requests. I was like, wow, this is a lot. So unfortunately, we didn't get to probably half of them like we had hoped, but we did quite a few. We weeded around a bunch of blueberry plants. We pressure washed. We cleaned up, moved a lot of brush. We split a bunch of firewood and moved it. It was a lot of hard work. I hope that you'll see some pictures in the slideshow later. But I think it's good for the kids because it instills in them a little bit of sweat equity into what they've worked for. So I appreciate you guys loaning us your kids to go on trips and learn about God and learn about different things of nature and to be a better Christian for every day.
I kind of put Jonathan on the spot because I didn't tell him before that he was going to do that. This year, our theme for Oshkosh is chosen, and that was our conference theme was chosen. And every year when we go to Camporee, we get a patch on a ribbon, and as you can see, we add it to our flag. Over the years, I've had to take some of them off the flag because it just gets to be too many. So Kirsten and I are going to add this one to our flag. This will be a square knot. Okay, Lee has some honors that he wants to present.
Yeah, I'll pull it up here in a minute here. So. Occasionally throughout the year, we have things happen that deserve recognition that don't necessarily have honors from Pathfinder source. So the first one I want to recognize is in Pathfinders, we always look forward to the campouts. We go out and we enjoy an afternoon in the out of doors. We go hiking, we go canoeing. We end up spending the evenings around a campfire, singing, having worship, talking, fellowshipping. These are the things that make Pathfinders memorable. These are the memories that we are creating that last a lifetime. In this particular case, we had a group of Pathfinders who had been working on camping skills, and as part of camping skills, they were also working on whittling. And we had them go out into the woods, and they found a nice vine that they cut up, and they sat around the campfire whittling this vine. And as a result, they came up with memories that, yes, memories do last a lifetime, but this memory lasted for many days. So the poison ivy honor goes to Riley, Braden, Chase, Emily, Natalie, Jaden, Marcus, and Ava. So there is... And I do need to add in here as well that Jennifer Cushing recently did this honor on her own. She did all the requirements of the honor. And so I am going to present her with this as well, since she definitely went above and beyond on her own time to earn this honor. So.
What up, Jennifer?
I have one left. Did I miss anybody? Just so you know. No, I don't think so. Okay, let's see. For the next one, I wasn't here, but as the story goes, during the triathlon at our camporee, we had two Pathfinders who were paddling a canoe, Caleb and Elijah. So I don't know how this happens because you end up tipping in a canoe and the whole thing goes, right? So how this happened, as the story goes, somehow Caleb fell out of the canoe and Elijah kept going. Is that not the way it went? That's just, okay. Okay. Elijah says it's fake. That's something that has been, since in the last week and a half, has been told several times as true. So even though it may not be quite as said, I still offer the canoe ejection seat honor to Caleb. Caleb. Caleb, actually. Okay. So one of our staff members, he's not a counselor, but he is somebody that participates in Pathfinders and comes to our camporee and everything. He got to participate in a contest at our camporee this last week called the Chubby Bunny Contest. Okay? So apparently in the Chubby Bunny Contest, you have to stuff 8 marshmallows in your mouth and be able to still say Chubby Bunny. So only those with the biggest of mouths, I think, could probably win this contest. So Billy Tomlinson, oh, and he missed the whole thing, didn't he? No.
I'm just going to say real quick, those of you who remember Becky Roberts as a Pathfinder, she won that with 13 marshmallows in her mouth.
Wow. Okay. So we have 3 Pathfinders that can most camporees be seen staking out their territory in the woods, hanging hammocks to sleep in each night. They're sometimes referred to by the rest of us as the bear tacos. Anyway, Braden, Chase, and Jesse, because of the time you spend hugging trees, you're getting the tree hugger honor. Braden, yes? Chase and Jesse. So this Pathfinder is able to find itching and trouble wherever she goes. On Friday night at the program, she sat in a nest of chiggers or something, thus putting a Pentecostal spirit in her. So the bug honor goes to Ava Kennedy. So. Let's see. So the traditional stereotype of the Boy Scout finding the elderly person to help across the road so they can earn that service honor, or whatever that honor is called. For that honor, we have somebody who is also going to get an honor sort of like that, not necessarily the same. We had two Pathfinders here who actually we're not giving the honor to. We're giving the honor to the person who they helped. And we'll see that here in a minute. Anyway, so we had an elderly gentleman that came and joined us on one of our campouts. And he was struggling to put up his tent. And 2 young Pathfinder girls jumped in there and helped him to put up his tent. So because he needed 2 girls to help him in this task, we give the snowflake honor to Kevin Finley. So,
That is good. What did he say?
so. That's all I've got.
Okay. Well, I have one, and I'm going to tell a little story about this. Happened at camporee. At camporee, where we have to sit for our meetings, is on a hill. And so I want you to envision, everybody know what a camp chair is? Okay. It's one of those chairs you take out of a bag, and you unfold it and you sit down in it. And in Pathfinders, we hang the bag on the back of the chair so I don't lose the bag. Well, after our first meeting at camporee on Thursday night, I was folding up my chair. So what you have to do is you have to turn it upside down to start the bag down over the legs of it, and then you turned around, or at least I do, turned around and flip it back up. So we're standing on this hill. Now you got to imagine this. We're standing on this hill, and I've got the chair upside down, and I put the bag down over it, and I went to flip it, and as I flipped it, of course, I was standing up. Well, somebody over there had their light right in my face. I couldn't see a thing. So I flipped my chair over, and it was like it hit wood. It was like, I thought, that was weird. And then I hear this, oh, oh, oh. And I see Lee standing like right, and I said, Lee, are you okay? What's wrong? I had smacked him right in the shin with the legs of this chair, and I didn't even know it. But you know what? He was such a good sport. All he did was dance around going, oh, oh, oh. That was all he said. So Lee gets the ouch award. It was well deserved. Okay. I have been in Pathfinders for 22 years as an adult. I've been a director for 17 years, and 14 of those years I've been director of this club. And every year except for last year, I gave my whistle away. Last year was the first year I didn't do it. And I give my whistle, I don't let anybody blow my whistle during the year. And I give my whistle to the Pathfinder that I feel I have seen the most progress in since either they started Pathfinders or their 5th grade year. And this girl actually did not start Pathfinders in our club. She joined our club later. And I remember the first time I saw her, there was just something special about her. There's something special about all the Pathfinders. There truly is. But there was just something about her. And I have watched her over the last few years blossom and grow and bloom into a lovely young girl. I'm not sure if she's leaving Pathfinders next year, but will be leaving this club. So Tiffany, I would like for you to come up. I want to present my whistle tonight to Tiffany. And Tiffany, I want to ask that someday you use this whistle to call your Pathfinders to attention. I got to do a Kevin. I'm not going to say goodbye to my Pathfinders and my staff tonight because I am going to get to go to Oshkosh with them. And so I'll say goodbye there. I would like to ask if there's anybody in the audience who has been a Pathfinder staff of mine, if you would please stand. Mr. Bermudez. Okay, wait. I'm not done. Okay, stay standing, please. Stay standing. Carol Haney, I would like for you to stand. We were staffed together. McDonald's, please stand. I've been here 25 years, so if you've been Pathfinder staff in the last 25 years, would you please stand? Okay, there's a lot that aren't here. I want to just publicly thank all of you for those of you who've mentored me, being a mentor. Those of you who have worked alongside of me, I thank you so much. It's been a glorious ride. It really has. And I'm going to miss all of you. I'm going to miss this church. I'm going to miss you as my friends. Is Dr. Schwerner and Mrs. Schwerner here? They just left. Well, fiddle. I wish they would have. Because Dr. Schwerner has been he has done wonderful things coming in and mentoring our kids and teaching honors and helping us in our club. Is there anybody else out here who has come in and just taught honors for us? Would you stand? It truly takes a village. One person can't do it. I would like to make a challenge to this church, Pastor Jeremy. And I don't know if Pastor Jason is here, but I'd also like to challenge the Riverview Church. Please stand behind these kids, stand behind this staff, and make this program flourish. It's been here many years, but times are getting worse. They're getting tougher in the world. It's harder to keep our young people in the church. So I'd like to challenge you as pastors to do all that you can to keep these adventure programs and Pathfinder programs going so that we can have another thing to keep our children in the church. And Pathfinders, I want to challenge you. When you graduate out of Pathfinders, don't leave. Stay in the church. There's an awkward period there where it's like, where do I fit? What do I do? I'm not an adult. I'm not a kid. What do I do? Weather through those years. They will pass. Weather through them, and then you will know where you fit. But don't walk out the door and leave your church family behind when you're in those tough years. Stick it out. That's my challenge to you. Okay? All right, you can be seated. I also gave the Pathfinders a challenge this year because I like to do that every year. Who can remember what the challenge was this year? Well, all right, I told a story about back in the Depression when a young man was looking for work. And he came to a farmer and he wanted work. And the farmer said, "Can you hitch a team of horses?" And he said, what? What did he say, Chase? What did he say? You said it, I think. Can you sleep? He said, "I can sleep on windy nights." Now you remember it, don't you? So my challenge was, I'll finish telling the story so everybody will know what the challenge was. So then he said, "Can you shear sheep?" And the young man said, "I can sleep on windy nights." And he said, "Can you milk cows?" He said, "I can sleep on windy nights." Every question the farmer asked him, he said, "I can sleep on windy nights." And so the farmer said, "Well, either this guy is totally cuckoo or something, but I'm going to give him a try." So he hired him. And one night there was a terrible storm that came up, and the wind was blowing, and it was raining, and everything, and the farmer just knew the gates were open, the stock would get out, the barn doors were probably coming off because they hadn't been shut good. And he jumped up, and he went, and he tried to wake up the hired hand, and he couldn't get him awake. And finally, in frustration and desperation, he just went out to the barn all by himself, and all the gates were shut, and all the doors were shut, and all the livestock was fine. So my challenge to the Pathfinders was what? Can you sleep on windy nights? Make sure that you have everything in your spiritual life where it needs to be. Make sure you have taken care of everything with God so you can sleep on windy nights. Okay? I don't mind going over it again, but I want you to remember that. I'm going to ask you again sometime in life, okay? Okay. Let's see. Marta.
I have some thank yous I want to do for my staff that have helped this year. So I'd like to invite all those that taught classes to come on up, and also Katrina Robinson and Heather Ruffner. If you're here, please come up too. It takes a lot of work to do Adventurers, and last year was my first year, and I didn't exactly know what I was doing, so I kind of tried to do it all myself, which was way too much work. So this year I started delegating things to different people. So anyway, I just want to give them something to let them know how much I appreciate them for what they've done. Okay, Kim. These ladies have managed their classes. They've reminded me when I've double booked and scheduled things wrong, and stepped in when I've had to be gone and kept things running. Katrina has kept track of all the attendance and all the stuff. Heather, come on up here. I want to tell you thank you. Heather's managed all the uniforms and tried to pick up the wadded mess that I handed her and said, "Have fun with this." So they've had my back, and I couldn't have done it without them. Thank you.
I do want to just say one last thing about staff. I did forget our bus drivers. I cannot forget them. Dave, no, I went Kirsten. But I do want to thank Dave, and I'm going to thank Billy Tomlinson in advance for driving us to Oshkosh with Dave. I'm thanking him in advance because he doesn't have his license yet. But even though I'm leaving the club, I feel like I'm leaving in very good hands. If the nominating committee sees fit to ask Kirsten, she's going to take over and be the director, and she will do a super job. She will take very good care of your kids. She will. So I think Marta, we're ready for the slideshows, right? Okay.
Actually, we have one thing. Dawn? No, we're going to make Dawn cry before Oshkosh.
All right. So, Dawn, come here. Do you remember what we got you last year?
Yeah, you gave me lilies.
And we gave you a box for you to keep things in.
Yes, and I actually have that box. It's sitting on my shelf. It says Miss Dawn on it. It's
Yes.
got all the pictures.
Well, we think you need more stuff to put in the box. Although maybe we should actually go ahead and put stuff in the bag for you to take home to put in your box.
All of you who don't like to camp in the mud and the rain, look what you're missing. TJ Color, you probably started all this. Okay, I think now we're ready to watch the slideshow. Thank you, Pathfinders. Thank you so much. We want to thank everybody for coming out tonight and for sharing this with us. This is really a special time to wrap up the end of the year for all of us. And Marta and I really appreciate you coming out and supporting the Adventures and the Pathfinders. And like I said, you know, those of you who don't like to be out on cold, wet, rainy nights, just saying. Thank you for trusting your kids in the care of me and the other counselors. I can't wait for Oshkosh, y'all. It's going to be great. It is. Braden's going to have our closing prayer. Pathfinders, remember you need to stay by.
All right, all of you guys stand for closing prayer. All right, please bow your heads. Dear Jesus, thank you. Thank you for Pathfinders, for the end of the year and the end of the year in school that's coming, just for the end that's coming and the fresh beginning that will soon follow. Thank you for the amazing memories that we've all made, that we've all shared with each other, and for the fellowship in you that we've all got to partake in. Thank you for some amazing leaders that have guided us throughout everything, and thank you for being the ultimate leader in guiding us. Please be with all of the Pathfinders next year, and the Adventurers next year, and the Adventurers becoming Pathfinders next year, and help them to make many more memories. Be with Miss Dawn as she goes on, and guide her. And thank you for her and for the amazing influence she's been on all of us. We love you. Amen.
I just want to say real quick, during the slideshow, you heard a girls' quartet singing You Are My Hiding Place. They have open mic on Sabbath, and they'll pick somebody to sing during that meeting, and our girls were picked, and they sang that song, and that's what you heard during that. I don't know if they can get that back again, but that was awesome. You probably just thought it was part of the soundtrack, but that was our girls.
Okay, Pathfinders and Pathfinder staff, please stay by. Okay, I need all the staff right